Boys, what is something you didn't know about girls until you got with one? Story 1. The amount of hair just everywhere. One time my toe was hurting. So I took off my shoe and sock and noticed a strand of my girlfriend's hair had wrapped itself tightly around my toe and had cut off the circulation. Story 2. Underwire brass are definitely trying to kill you, if not physically, they want to embarrass you to death. I got home from some errands one day and realized the underwire from the center of the bra had broken through the fabric and was sticking out of my V-neck sweater near my chin. It looked like a microphone, I hope. Maybe some people thought I was on a secret mission. Story 3. When they tell you their problems, they don't want you to solve them. They just want you to listen and sympathize with their plight. Even if you have a quick and easy solution, keep it to yourself and pretend that the issue is just as bad as they think it is. Well, this caught fire. Thank you for the awards. Also, for the people complaining, I don't make the rule, don't blame me. Story 4. That they pay to get their acrylic nails removed. They can fall off, but usually you will either pay for a refill, which means file them down a bit on the top so the extension of your nail stays on it and you can put another color on it and connect it to where it grew out over time and covers your nail again, and this is cheaper than a full new set from scratch. Or you pay for them to get them off. You can do it yourself sometimes, but it's work for the nail studio, so it's not free. You can't just pop them off like press-ons. Story 5. Doctors just do not listen to women about their own bodies. My GF and ex have both had me go into doctor appointments with them so I could verify what they're saying about their own bodies. It is mind-blowing to experience. When I reported some back pain, I was given an immediate x-ray and a physio regimen to fix the issue. When my wife reported back pain, she was told she should be fine if she lost 20 pounds. For reference, I am more overweight than she is. She ended up in the emergency room for back spasms. More than 10 times in a year, we chased with the GP multiple times. No proper investigation. Just an assumption she had a weak back and needed to do more exercise. It turns out that her pain was biliary colic, reported by many as an experience far worse than childbirth. And the repeated spasms actually left her with permanent damage to the back muscles. It wasn't till we went to a private specialist that he diagnosed and fixed the problem, with a surgery the next week. He gave us a huge rant about how most doctors absolutely ignore pain symptoms in women. He said it's also why so many reproductive system issues are underdiagnosed. Women report painful periods, etc., and are met with well-done responses from their doctors rather than actual investigation. Story 6. They share way more details with their friends than we do. My best friend moved 4 states away and has 3 kids. I don't even know his kids' names. We'll talk every once in a while for an hour-ish. And my wife will be like, how's his kids? They're good. How do you know? You didn't ask him. Story 7. Not me, but I saw a post once where a guy was super confused about the rocks in his GFS shower, and had come to ask what they are and where he could find them to put in his shower so she would feel comfortable, and put a stick and leaf in a jar for a frog vibe. He thought you'd just find them outside. She had pumice stones. For those wondering, pumice stones are the bubbly-looking rocks that you can use to exfoliate the bottoms of your feet with. They are made when lava hardens super quick. Also, they are so filled with holes that they can float in water. Story 8. How expensive brass are. Growing up, I assumed they were like underwear. $7.99 for a 4-pack at Target. You can get brass almost that cheap, but then they are evil and try to eat you alive by chewing through both sides of your rib cage and your sternum at the same time, while also climbing up your back in an attempt to break your neck. Story 9. That finding the clitoris is not, as I had been led to believe by pop culture jokes, an impossible adventure requiring endless amounts of cunning, fortitude, and a Sherpa guide. Like, it's literally right there. It's impossible to not find. I have no idea what that joke is about. Not hard to find. Dialing in the amount of clitoral contact each girl prefers is not as easy. Some want you to blast their bean while others want you to just circle the perimeter. Always ask, or better yet, have them fill out the questionnaire. Story 10. That hair washing is something that needs planning for, and has consequences if missed or overdone. I was just telling my husband that I basically have to go through the 5 stages of grief before washing my hair. Denial. It's not even that dirty yanger. I just washed it the day before yesterday, bargaining. Maybe I can get away with dry shampoo. Until tomorrow, depression. Now my hair smells like I Febrezed it. And it still doesn't look clean. I'm gross and lazy. Acceptance. F it, I guess I'll just wash it. Story 11. That they plan when they're going to shower their hair. And when not toys because it takes a long ass time to dry. And it's not healthy for your hair to wash it every day. I'm a guy but have longer hair. And if I want to wash my hair before I go out, I have to shower at least 2 hours before going out. Story 12. It required a trip to the ear to have the top of her toe cut so the hair could be pulled out because it was so tight it couldn't be removed otherwise. Even that didn't get all of it, so we used nair on a bit of hair that hadn't sliced through her skin, then we were able to unwrap everything. Story 13. Eyelash curlers exist. I'd grown up with sisters but never saw them use one, but my GF at the time pulled one out as we were looking to go out. I was perplexed and horrified. My nieces and nephews love to watch me do my makeup. They're always so fascinated, scared, curious about the eyelash curler. My nephew confidently explained to the others that I use it to chop my eyelashes off. Story 14. After about a year of unnecessary strife with my girl, I learned a trick which I will pass on now. When she tells me about her problems, I give her a big hug, look in her eyes, and say, "AWW babe, I'm so sorry, that sucks. Do you just want love or do you want help?" 95% of the time she just buries her head in my chest and says, "Just some love would be nice." Let me tell you something. Game changer. Story 15. An earring or necklace always gets left behind. Right now I have a single earring on my bedroom nightstand, a woman's scarf on the table by the front door, and a necklace on a piece of furniture in the living room. And I don't even have a girlfriend. Story 16. I am thinking about nothing is an alien concept for them. Some time ago my wife and I were laying in bed. It was late. She was laying on my chest and it was just kind of a sweet moment. Sleep was kind of lapping at our toes like a rising tide, and we were kind of drifting away. My wife asks me what I'm thinking about. We're working on being more transparent with each other. So I was just brutally honest. I told her I was wondering how long I would last in a fight against a gorilla. Like, if it were unavoidable and I had to, buy you and the kids time, I think I could at least last a minute. 60 seconds I could do, I think. Solid. Story 17. I thought that for menstrual pads, the sticky sides were to stick to the body to stay attached rather than on the underwear. Story 18. There's a second hole they pee from. This sparked a huge debate among me and my friends when we were 10. Some of the group just couldn't grasp the concept. Finally, my friend Steve, frustrated, angrily, and loudly said, "You idiots, there are 3 holes. A S-hole, a P-hole, and a foo hole." That comment settled the debate. Unfortunately, his mother heard him say it and sent all of us home. Story 18. I learned quite young that if you volunteer to pick up pads, tampons, snacky treats at the drugstore, you'll be viewed as a god not only by your lady but by every other woman who sees you buying the shit. Never once have I gotten the side eye or been judged by anyone. It's always been quite the opposite. Hell, sometimes the cashier will flirt with me when I've got a cart full of pads and a family-size bag of dark chocolate candy bars. Story 19. Had no idea before I was in a long-term relationship just how often women get public and wanted attention from male strangers. I'm not around people who do that I know of, and it's never occurred to me to do something like that, so anytime I heard about that kind of thing or saw it depicted in media, I thought of it as an outlier or an old trope. Nope, it's an everyday thing, and it's kinda F up. Story 20. They're extremely easy to talk to about anything. I 19 kinda knew that. I was never afraid of talking to girls. But when I got with my current girlfriend, first real and mature GF, I found out I could literally talk to her. As if she was one of my homies and as if she was my girlfriend. She is my lover and best friend. Can talk to her about anything, and I love that. Story 21. I thought they'd be extremely judgmental about my body because of my shitty skin. I listened to how judgmental women often are about their own looks, perfectionist-like obsession with looking immaculate, that I was sure I'd disgust any girl that ever saw me without clothes on.